So guys, listening in, coachkitchens.ai, you got two ways to get it. One, you could do the monthly, there's there's nothing, it's monthly. You want to cancel, you can cancel. And it's $99 a month. Mm-hmm. You go buy it off the shelf. You go straight to Huzi, it's 99, but you don't get Coach Kitchens. You don't get our stuff. You don't get the masterclass. Mm-hmm. Danielle sending emails and kind of threw something out there. She said, I don't know if you want to make it irresistible, but what about this? So she threw out.
Do I know about this?
No, you don't. So okay. Just mute for a second, Eric. So Danielle was like, how about this? How about let them do the discount on the annual? There's already a discount, right, at $984. What if you drop the discount and what if it went to $500? Okay. So think about that, right? So $500. So basically 5 months, and then you're getting 7 months for free. Plus you get Agent to CEO Masterclass. And I was like, you know what else I'll do? I don't open up Kitchen Table to anybody. The only way you get an invite to Kitchen Table. And so we're on, so June, the end of June will be KT 18. So we're far enough down the path I can start numbering them now, right? So we got 18 coming up in June. And, you know, Kitchen Table started out as a passion project by being inspired by Dan Sullivan on from the book Who Not How. And in the opening where he's talking with Ben, after Ben does the open and then Dan comes in and they start having the conversation, you know, for those of you that have been a part of Strategic Coach, you look at all of the small business leaders, they've all been through Strategic Coach. They all have. They've all been a part of it in some capacity, right? They've been touched by Dan Sullivan's Strategic Coach work. And I was in my second year of Strategic Coach, but Who Not How just came out. Well, I already knew about the concept because Dan Sullivan's been writing a book every quarter for the last 10 years. And he just hasn't never put anything out to the public. Well, this was the first one. And he said, I've had 7 people that have not missed a Strategic Coach workshop in my 33 years of doing this. I was like, that's inspiring. Mm-hmm. And when the book came out, it was October, November timeframe. And I said, can we pull this off? And I said, you know, the one thing that I know that I feel to where we get out of sync is if we miss strategic planning quarterly, right? That's why we're wired to operate in 90-day cycles. We need a 90-day reset. That's quarterly strategic planning. I said, how about we put together a strategic planning 2-day offsite? We know all of the best practices, the way to do it. We've been trained by the best of the best to execute this. I said, let's do it. We had like 8 people show up to the first one. We pulled it off in like 4 weeks. They flew into Dallas. We had Airbnb, and that's where Kitchen Table was born. But it was born from the inspiration from Dan Sullivan. It's evolved to the best of the best, you know, that I've been a part of and running one of the best real estate masterminds ever created that we did with NAEA and NAEA Mastermind, and taking elements from there, focusing in on experience. But Kitchen Table I'm like so proud of it. And everybody that comes, they're like, this is amazing, right? And just walking away and with absolute clarity of what they need to do in the next 90 days. And so I've never opened it up. It's always been invite only. And because I have to protect the integrity of the room, because I need to make sure everybody's like-minded, because we get vulnerable fast, right? Jackie Bowman, I love her to death. She's been to over half of the KTs. And she goes, one thing that we do here, we get to our shit real fast. And so Jackie, I love that. So when Danielle was throwing this out there, I was like, you know what? Let's do 50% off and access to KT. 50% off to KT. KT is $1,000 a ticket to get in the room after invite only. And so here's what I'll throw out there. You guys, with the launch from $984 to $500, you get our custom, you get all of the kitchen stuff, you get the masterclass, and you're going to get access to KT at a 50% discount if you do the annual now.
And to clarify, this is a limited time offer, so the 500 is not forever.
I know.
Eric's on the call. I need to really clarify.
I was like, hey, how long can I ride this out? And she's like, now I'm gonna have to reel you back in a little bit here.